add one thing for you. What he mentioned is knowing where you are, or an email, phone number.
Oh, okay.
There's two major lists out there. There's one that's kind of on 1st to the 12th Cav that some of you own. There's some that are on that group that we were in Williamsburg last year. There's probably altogether 30 or 40 names on Alpha 1st 12th. Before we leave here,
Yeah, that roster, that Excel spreadsheet is all right there. They got 30 or 40 of them.
yeah, Ridley Mormon has agreed to maintain the list, and so we have a guy who's taken
One
responsibility.
thing worse than getting shot and losing your leg, that's getting shot in the ass.
That's
I'm
supposed to be a
I'm
secret.
actually famous. I'm in a book.
Yeah, Cotton, he's in a novel, so.
I'm in a novel. Yeah. And I should just go Sergeant Stuart Tuttle, U.S. 5298923 and sit down, because that's all I really should have to say. But yeah, I was drafted in.
So you gotta go earlier than that. Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm originally from a little farm town in Scott Center, Pennsylvania. Family of farmers. My father worked in a sawmill. Up until the time I was drafted, I was a stone cutter.
Okay. Knew something about hard work, huh?
Knew a lot about hard work. Knew a lot about scrounging to get what you got in life. So, went to Fort Dix for basic training, and if Fort Dix is an armpit, I'll tell you what else. Fort Polk is a lot lower.
That's even
That's the
harder.
toe
You're
change.
right.
Closer to where I was shot.
You got it.
We refer to it as Fort Puke.
That's why I asked where you took jungle training, because I took it in the swamps of Fort Polk, Louisiana, and it was yeah, not a real pleasant place. Shipped off to Vietnam in December of '68, so I was there in '68, and first Alpha Company was still working up in near the A Shaw, up near the Viet Cong that we were making contact
At
with,
that time,
and they were just doing little aggravating things.
got it.
They would hit sniper once a day. You'd get sniper, take out a guy. Most of the times it was just a wound. You know, I don't recall anybody being killed.
We were on what they call the street without joy.
Yeah.
And that's the only time that we ever fought among civilian.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, we were out in the free kill zone.
Yeah, I remember.
For a month or two.
Yeah, well, no, we were in there. We were in there, and there was kill zones, and there was
Free fire zone.
free fire zones, and then there was areas where you had to was no
And
kill.
that's what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and they would come out. They'd set up an ambush, and it'd be bing bang, 3-4 shots, and
Gone.
everybody'd go to, and they were gone.
You got
So
it.
that was my initiation to the field, and then we moved down, getting closer to Tet Offensive. Shortly after, I think it was shortly after Christmas, we moved down to Benoit
Yeah.
and started our area operation down in that area. And that's when we really started hitting the shit with the NVA
Yeah, big time.
and casualties galore, and that's where Craig Williams and Ed Evanson were killed. I started to tell the story about Ed a few minutes ago, and I'll take that privilege. Ed came in from R&R on the 5th of March, climbed off the helicopter, big smile on his face. Ed was a pretty good-sized guy from up in Minneapolis. Friendly enough guy, a good squad leader. He was our squad leader. He was a good guy, and he bought us all a little sake. We took our canteen cups and put a little heat under it. And 20-year-old kids absolutely didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we thought we were doing the way you're supposed to do it. And had a little toast to Ed and his trip, and he told us all about the good times he had and the girls he'd met and all of that stuff. We were short-handed. We were real short-handed. Like we'd really been hit. Ed said he'd take point. We were tired. He'd take point. And he walked out and took the first rounds. through the midsection, and Craig went to get him and took one in the neck, and think of him a lot. So,
My understanding from hearsay was between December of '68 and April of '69 that Alpha Company suffered 140 casualties. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Because this will have great impact on me almost a year later,
Yeah.
10 to 12 months later but all I'm saying is lots of guys did lots of fighting during that time frame, and I don't know, did Alpha Company fight more than anybody else? Did the battalion fight that more? Because when you look at the battalion casualties, it seemed like to me that Alpha was doing certainly their fair share of, if not more, of the fighting. When there's
It
two
was
rosters
like
around here,
they-
you can run down?
Yeah.
Okay,
We went wherever the fighting was.
okay.
we were, you know, because the choppers, and I've said this, and it was nothing about that sort of situation, but the choppers would come and get us, and we'd be up and go to, and we'd go, and they're flying around up there finding
Yeah.
situations for us to get
Yeah.
in, so we were in a lot of it. But anyway, still short. Now we're really short man. We were short man beforehand, but we were really short man, and they assigned.
So you're saying you needed a short replacement? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. So, the next day in comes John,
I was replacement for one of the two guys that got.
and I was happy. And we were happy, and I was especially happy to see John because I was carrying the M79 grenade launcher at the time, and
FNG,
he
here you are.
needed somebody else
And it
to
does
carry
roll
that.
downhill.
You don't.
Yeah,
you-
in
I
that
got
particular.
to tell you about that M70 guy.
Yeah,
You
so-
talk about what it does.
Just a minute, an M79, ladies, is what you would think is a short saw-off shotgun
But
that
it's a
shoots
grenade
40
launcher.
40 millimeter
Shot a
grenade,
grenade.
300 to 400 meters.
If you want to know how dumb
He didn't want to be. He had his buddies, and you do. You have your friends with the
Your family.
group you work with. You're right.
Family.
Here it is. It becomes family,
He was an ignorant redneck.
and he was an ignorant redneck. That made that opinion. That was my opinion, but since it's John's opinion, it's fact.
Did he survive?
He went home, I
Well,
think. I don't know.
what happened was we ended up. For some reason, I think we're Quan, no, maybe.
Yeah, we were up there, Conway.
We were up there. We moved
Yeah,
up there,
quite
and
a lot.
he'd been
Yeah.
possibly the
Yeah.
squad leader for a week, and the squad kind of went to the platoon leader and said he's not working out, send him back, and so I ended up taking over the squad, a lowly, spec 4 that'd been over there since December, and now it's maybe April. I don't know. But anyway, did that for a while, and then they had a E5 come in out of instant training, and I swapped positions with him. He took the squad in, and I started carrying the thing that got me shot. Put the radio on my back. So about the time that you had the action where you lost the guys, I was on one of the choppers that got shot up, and then we pulled off because the one chopper really got the pilots got hit,
Okay.
and so it went down, and we went down with it, but we were shot up to our chopper. So we took the pilots off of that ship, put it on the ship we were on, and that went out, and then we put a perimeter around the chopper that went down, and they came out and got it with a Skyhook.